The late 90s was a very unique time for action cartoons. You had Street Sharks, Extreme Ghostbusters, Men in Black, and you know what would have fit perfectly within that? Spidersaurs, our game for the day. But it would have fit perfectly within the late 90s. A story how the company Ingest tried to end world hunger by creating a spider-dinosaur hybrid to harvest its meat. What could go wrong? But naturally, things do go wrong. Horribly wrong, and the Spidersaurs are on the loose. You get to choose one of two players, Victoria the punk rocker or Adrian the classic tough funny guy, to try to take the Spidersaurs down. The story is fun, campy, and fits perfectly with the tone of what they're going for in this game, and like I said earlier, fans of 90s action cartoons are going to love it. Before we get too far into the gameplay, welcome to the Ogles channel, thanks for watching today. Now I always like to give a heads up, I did receive a review copy of Spidersaurs from the company, however, like always, that doesn't affect my review in any form or fashion, and this game does hit down my alley pretty well being a Contra style game, because man, I grew up playing the Contra games all the time. Contra, Super C, Alien Wars, I even had a Contra Force on the NES, which I know really isn't a Contra style game, but it just goes to show I love the Contra games, so this was definitely down my alley. But let's go and get back to Spidersaurs and see if it's something that you might be interested in as well. The game itself is a classic run and gun, very much in the vein of Contra. And when I say very much in the vein of, I mean nearly identical to Contra 3 when it comes to the playstyle. The controls are nearly the same, the option to alternate between two guns is the same, nearly identical weapon upgrades like rockets and flamethrowers are the very own version of the spread, identical in the way the levels are formatted between the horizontal and the vertical, the motorcycle level of Contra is now a dinosaur ride level or stage. The game is definitely letting its inspiration show through, however, they are borrowing from the master of run and gun games and my favorite Contra of all of them, so for the most part, I'm excited to be able to jump right into the game so fast. They do add their own flair of special moves like a grappling hook and a dash and a slam move to mix the gameplay up a bit, and you earn these new moves at the close of every stage. This makes the first playthrough more exciting because you don't know how your character is going to upgrade as you progress throughout the game. They also add in special bots that fly through the air of each stage that you can shoot and it has like flashes on the screen or airstrikes or things like that. It's not enough to really alter the gameplay much, and I'd probably prefer just to get the bombs back that they took out from Contra, but hey, it's at least something a little bit different. The enemies in the game are fun and add to the cartoon aesthetic like I mentioned earlier, from humanoid cockroaches to praying mantis to true spider-dinosaurs hybrid. The game has a lot of fun and cool looking enemies in it. However, the majority of these enemies are all shown halfway through the game, so there's not a ton of excitement as to what enemies are going to come next, but still, they're all well designed and they fit perfectly with that cartoon aesthetic. Now when you finish the game, you also unlock two new modes, Arcade and Speedrun, both of which eliminate the majority of the story, which is overall a good thing because even though it's a fun story, the dialogue does get a little lengthy at times throughout the story mode, and the speedrun gives you all the upgrades at the start of the game. This is probably the best way to replay the game when you finish it, and the game does have good replayability, very similar to how the old Contra games did. And you can play it on 3 different difficulties, try different modes, different characters, and it's short enough that if you want to play through it with your friends for just a local co-op, it'd be a good replayability on that as well. Sorry to the online crowd though, because this game is a local only game. Overall, Spidersaurs brings the classic aesthetic that fans of the genre would want while mixing with nostalgia of the 90s that feels like a natural match. The game sells for $20 on the eShop or the PSN or Steam, and for run and gun fans, that's about what you would expect for this to cost. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, go out there, find a great game to play, and just simply have a great rest of the day.